Well, we're back at the farm, and today we're making 20 pounds of honey barbecue snack sticks. And we went back to PS Seasoning to get their honey barbecue seasoning for snack sticks. They also were kind enough to ship along some Prog #1 powder for the cure and a set of casings. These are collagen casings that we'll be stuffing with our barbecue honey meat. In addition, to give the snack sticks a little bit of tang, I've gotten some encapsulated citric acid, which adds a tang to the snack stick and will also provide some shelf life preservation abilities to the sticks themselves. In addition to the seasoning, the cure, and the encapsulated citric acid, we also have jalapenos to chop up that'll go into the snack sticks, as well as sweet peppers. We followed a similar recipe when we were doing the summer sausage a few months back. In terms of meat, we're going for 20 pounds, and we've got, I don't know, roughly 7 pounds of pork shoulder. We've got about I'd say 7 or 8 pounds of beef, and then we've got 4 pounds of elk. So we like to utilize all the meat we harvest during the season, so we had some leftover elk, and we'll go ahead and include that with these snack sticks. The process we'll follow for the snack sticks is pretty simple. It's Tuesday at about 4 o'clock right now, and we're going to take the next hour to 2 hours cutting our meat up into 1 inch by 1.5 inch squares. We'll then take that meat, put it into a meat lug, and pour the Prog cure solution over it and mix it well by hand. These are just cube meat, and after that's been mixed for say 7-8 minutes, we'll take the seasoning for the snack sticks and we'll apply that as well to the cube meat. So now we'll start cutting this pork shoulder up. Again, you know, if you're just making sausage and mixing the seasoning towards the end when it's ground, you don't really have to cut your meat up all that small. But because we'll be putting the seasoning on and letting it sit in the refrigerator overnight, you want to have a lot of surface area where the seasoning can interact with the meat. So I'm cutting it up probably a lot smaller than you need to just to put it through the grinder. Let's check our measurements here. Combination beef, pork, and elk. What do you got for?
Just over 10 pounds, like barely.
Okay. Same combination, beef, pork, and elk.
9.5 pounds.
So close enough. Now, take our 19 pounds of meat and pour it into the meat lug. It's a lot of meat. And now our cure. And they say to put the cure on before the seasoning so that you make sure it adheres to the meat. A little bit of this goes a long way. And like I said, we're hand mixing this. And the reason for that is we have a mixer, but it's a pain in the butt to clean. So we're gonna pass on the mixer and hand mix this entire snack stick. All right, we've put our cure, our sodium nitrate and mixed it well into the meat for about 6.5 minutes. Now it's time to add the PS seasoning honey barbecue snack stick mixture. And it's kind of amazing. This is like 2.5 pounds of seasoning. And 2.5 pounds of seasoning goes into 19, nearly 20 pounds of meat. It's a lot of seasoning, but per the directions, this is the route you're supposed to go. The other advantage of the route I'm going is that as you grind these cubes after seasoning them, the grinder does a good job in mixing the seasoning further into the meat. So about half the bag, then hand mix. Voila. So now that we've seasoned it, we're putting them in aluminum tins to put either in the freezer or the refrigerator. I'm not sure where we have space, but the goal is to let the meat marinate in that seasoning overnight, and then get up tomorrow morning and pick up again with the grind, followed by the cheese, jalapenos, encapsulated citric acid, and then stuff. Well, we're on day 2 now. It's Wednesday morning at about 8:15. Yesterday, we spent the afternoon cubing up our elk, pork, and eye of round beef. One of the keys when you're making sausage, or in this case, snack sticks, is to keep all the meat cold. It protects against the development of bad bacteria, and it also prevents the meat from, particularly the fat content, from smearing in the grinding process. Smearing is when the fat gets warm, which is a byproduct of the grinding process. It can cause it to start to render and bad things happen. So you always want to be working with cold meat. Today's exercise is we're going to grind our meat twice. First with a large diameter grind, and then follow through with the second grind with a finer grind plate. Once we finished our grind on the big plate, you'll know that there's a lot of ground meat still stuck in this grinding plate, and an easy way to get it out is to use ice. And it will force the ice through the grinding plates, and it will eventually push any remaining meat in the grinder out through the extrusion. So when you see the ice appear, that means the meat has been pushed out. And the ice doesn't really affect the sausage mixture, because later in the process we're going to add probably 2 to 2.5 cups of water to get the right level of tackiness to it. So looks like we're in good shape. At this stage, we're going to hand mix the cheese, the jalapenos, and the sweet peppers into the sausage. And you can see it's a high temperature cheese, and the size of the chop is small enough so it should accommodate a snack stick. So that's 2 pounds of cheese. And from yesterday's activities, we chopped up, what would you say, Gabe, maybe 6 or 8 jalapenos, and maybe 10 sweet peppers. So that's what it looks like. Into the tub. Boy, you can smell those jalapenos. And now the mixing process. I find if you pull the meat from the bottom of the tray and just fold it on top of it, that's the best way to incorporate this cheese, jalapenos, and sweet peppers. We're going to add a little water. Right level of tackiness when it sticks to your fingers. Ready for the encapsulated citric acid. The ratio for the citric acid is 1 tablespoon for every 5 pounds of meat. So we're dealing with 4 tablespoons here. Again, this is tang to adds tang to the sausage. The encapsulation prevents the citric acid from being released into the sausage until the temperature hits 130. This stuff is pretty delicate, so you generally will only add it to your sausage mix at the very end of the process and lightly mix it. All right, mixed. At this stage, we proceed with the stuffing. Yeah, I'm loading my casings up onto the stuffing tube, and I'm going to try and get as much of the casing up here as possible by pushing it back. I did add a little bit of Pam onto the stuffing tube, the exterior of it, to facilitate the casing going on easier. Well, we've hit the stage in our meat stick preparation where we've smoked the meat sticks. We took the batch to at 130 degrees for 1 hour, then we took it to 150 for an hour, then we took it to 165, and it's been in about an hour. We've got 4 racks in here, and the very top rack is obviously where the most heat is, and it's hit 155, so we're going to pull them off. First thing we're going to do is cut them in 24-inch lengths, put them in an ice bath. The ice bath does 2 things. First, it cools the meat to stop the cooking process, and second, you get an opportunity after you take it out of the bath to wipe it down with a cloth to get some of the soot and other stuff from the grill grates off of the sausages before you proceed to vacuum sealing them. So let's Well, 20 pounds of snack sticks. They turned out really, really good, very tasty. This final process we're involved in is we've ice bath the top row of sausages. We've got 3 more to go. Here's a good side section to take a look at. You can see the jalapeno and the high temperature cheese right in the middle of the sausage right there. Very, very, very tasty. As we vacuum seal these sausages, we'll turn around and put them in the freezer, and you'll be able to take the sausage right out of the freezer, let it defrost, and eat it just like a meat stick you bought in the store. but unlike the store meat stick, you know exactly what ingredients went into this sausage and you prepared it yourself. So a higher level of confidence in the end product than something that you perhaps bought in a gas station. Hope you enjoyed the video. Take care.